Yo, what's up? So, cooking chili with Kells. So I like to use ground chuck, and I use always $5 per pound or more for my beef. Chuck has a really good flavor for chili. It's just better for the flavor. I like it better. Anyways, you can use lean meat if you need to, whatever, turkey, whatever, what have you. But today I'm making a beef chili with ground chuck with some contadina tomato sauce, Bush's chili beans, some red kidney beans from Publix, and some Rotel, mild diced tomatoes and green chilies. Okay, and then I season it with chili powder, onion powder, garlic, black cracked pepper, sea salt, and cumin, and let's see here, garlic, salt, pepper, cumin. I believe that's an onion powder, and onions, and a little bit of cayenne. And it's very good, and it's hearty, and it's delicious. And yeah, you just get those 4 cans. Obviously, I'm not going to use all of this meat for chili. I'm doing meal prep, so I'm going to be making some patties for burgers, and also just cooking up the ground beef for tacos and spaghetti as well. So yeah, but yeah, you can do 3 meals out of this. You can get spaghetti, tacos. Actually, you can do 4: spaghetti, tacos, burgers, and chili out of this pack if you get that roll to do meal prep, and you just cook up your patties and save half of it for the other one. If you're cooking for one, obviously you'd want to double the meat per person. Okay, have a lovely evening. I'll be posting more tips and tricks and cool recipes and stuff, and cooking videos. So yeah, I guess I could film the whole thing, but here, let's get this mustard out of the way. That's funny, but relatable. So we got the let me bake really quick. Sorry. Okay, there's a hurricane in Florida, so I'm not dressed up for my first cooking show, but this is the Hurricane Cooking Show with Kelly. Hurricane Ian is just battering our west coast of Florida right now, but I'm in Orlando. It's still pretty nasty outside, so we're hunkering down, and I'm making some nice hearty chili. So first, I always start with heating up my pan. Obviously, when you're browning meat, you want to heat up your pan in your olive oil. You don't throw it in the pan, you know. I mean, you can if you're in a rush, but I'm not in a rush. And then, so yeah, portioning out. So grab yourself a bowl, that you're going to use for your main part of your ground beef. And then obviously, you want to do a good hand wash when you're starting out any meats or any poultry. I don't care what kind of meat it is or anything. You should start washing your hands when you get in the kitchen. But anytime you touch meat and go back and forth, you should be washing your hands. Please excuse a little bit of dishes. That's just a cutting board and a skillet that I accidentally got the wrong one. So okay, yeah. So we got the ground beef here. So let me just put it in the bowl, like a pound of it, about this much here, pound. And then the other I'm gonna set aside for the other stuff that I'm doing. For now, I'll set it right there. And then you want to get your seasonings. So remember I said onion powder, garlic powder, onion powder, ground cayenne, red pepper, and chili powder is what I use for my chili seasonings, and cumin, and black cracked pepper and sea salt. And I use also sometimes I'll use the original spice blend too, the original McCormick spice blends, because when I'm out of chili powder, this comes in handy. I'm out of my regular chili powder, so I'm going to go ahead and, instead of doing the spice blend, but that is the spice blend that I use, but it's very similar to McCormick's, I imagine. Probably the same. I don't use coriander very often, but it can help if you're with cannabis medicine. Coriander can help deliver the cannabinoids to you. So yeah, this chili seasoning is what I actually put in the chili once you are cooking it and seasoning the meat. So I'm gonna just put some salt and pepper on the ground beef right now, and then season it up. If you keep in mind, you want to grab the low sodium one or the original recipe, depending on what your dietary needs may or may not be. I know some people like to keep it low on salt. I do too, personally, because I have high blood pressure. Just spatula, kind of break this up a little bit. Oops, I'll get that. Never want to stop to pick up anything that you dropped on the floor accidentally while you're cooking. Touching the floor. Okay, so you want to get your beef evenly distributed throughout your pan, your nice warm hot pan. So that way whenever you're dropping your chili seasoning, and you want to add about a 1/4 cup of water once it starts simmering, because you'll burn your seasonings in the pan if you don't add a little bit of water there, and it helps the flavor lock in the juices of the flavor into the seasonings into the meat. So yeah, so and it releases the flavor as well. Locks it in and releases it. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so yeah, I got it seasoned up and it is getting hot. I'm gonna turn it up to about 6.5 just to get it really going there. And then you want to do, I'm just gonna use this because I'm just being, but it's just a dash of water. You don't really need much. I'm not even going to use all that I've put. It's just a bit to spread that seasoning around. Actually, that is probably just enough. Okay. And then you just stir up the meat. Make sure you get all the chili seasoning all over your meat. And get it nice and browned. Go ahead and crank that heat up to high, almost like 7. Just get it started, because once you get it hot, you can kind of lower the temperature gradually as the pan gets hot with these copper pans. They get real nice and hot. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you do your beef, and you brown that, and then, like I said, you take your 4 main ingredients that are canned. Is the rotel. I like the tomatoes with the green chilies. It just gives it that extra little kick of flavor. The red kidney beans, the quintessential second bean of a chili. And then, of course, Bush's mild chili beans. You can use spicy if you like, or add your own hot sauce for an extra kick. And then the contadina canned sauce. Obviously, any brand is fine, but that's what I'm using today. Just for posterity. Oops. It's okay to put it back in if it was just on the stovetop, because I cleaned the stovetop, so it's all right. Yeah, so just let this meat start to brown and absorb these wonderful spices. And then once you get your meat brown, it takes usually about 25 minutes or so, I think, to really brown ground beef properly. I would say 20 minutes. But just make sure it's brown, nice and brown, or whatever you're making. If you're doing a vegan version, hats off to you. I understand, but I need iron because I'm low on iron, so I need iron-rich foods for my diet, and so does my mama. But yeah, so once you get your meat simmering, you're gonna want to chop your onion right once you get your meat simmering in the pan. The perfect time to chop your onions. So you want to get a nice good paring knife. I like to use the Pro Steel. This is awesome. It's a great knife. It'll tear into just about anything. Real good. So yeah, I use this beautiful sweet onions for my chili. I like either sweet onions or like Vidalia onions, because I mean you can use a red onion, but sometimes I just really like the sweet onions in the chili. It just gives it that nice balance, not too much acidic on the flavor, because you already have all the spices, you know. So you don't want the onion to overpower the lovely taste of the chili. So yeah, as you can see, that meat is starting to steam up, and that's what you want. You want your meat hot and cooked to temperature always. Ground beef should be fully cooked. You should never want mid-well or rare ground beef, you know, unless it's in the middle of your burger a little bit. But that's it, you know. It's like, and even then, that's risky, you know, unless it's like steak. But yeah, so chopping this onion, I do the julienne cut, and then I go back over it and dice it. So julienne is when you slice it in half. You get the roots off of the onion, and then you slice it in half down the middle, you know, with the onion, and then you do it along the natural line as the onion grows. Is how the julienne cut is designed. So you're basically doing nice little crescent moon shapes with your onion, because that's what unlocks the natural flavors of the onion. But when you dice it, it does it double time. That's why, like, that's the level with onions, you know. When you open them up, that's when they start cranking up their power. Golly, I'm just dropping stuff. I have to rinse that off, obviously. A little sponge off here. Towels over here, good. Yeah, and I like to just throw the onions right in with the meat and let them start cooking into the meat. And it's okay if you give them a rough chop. They don't have to be a perfect dice, because it's going to cook down to translucent in chili anyways. Maybe nice slivers, you know. You can leave them as the juliennes if you don't like diced onions and small chopped texture. You can leave them long. It eats just fine. As if the food were eating itself. But yeah, this is my first attempt at a cooking show, so I hope y'all enjoy this video. I'm doing this for my Facebook fans, everybody. My Instagram got hacked when I was Cosmic Glitter Fairy. I got locked out of my account. I still haven't even gotten around to deal with customer service with Instagram. You know how that can be. So I'm working on it, but I don't know. I feel like I got shadow banned by the Illuminati, but maybe not. I don't know. It's weird. Right when you hit that 1,000 followers, suddenly my account was hacked. But anyways, not gonna get upset about that, because who cares about followers when you're making banging chili? Not me. Yeah, just gotta get those onions nice and translucent, and they will work as a key for when your meat is also completely done. When the onions are translucent, then you know your ground beef is definitely going to be cooked all the way too. Obviously, put it in there first as well. And it's not just because of that, but you know, of the density of it. You can tell by the density of it, I should say. I need to wrap up this other meat until I'm ready to do the other meal prep. So I'm just gonna quickly cover it and put it back in the fridge to chill. Yeah, this is pretty crazy over on the Treasure Coast, but we're not getting hit too hard here inland, so that's good, because it's scary, even though my heart goes out to everybody out there that's getting pummeled down right there, Punta Gorda and all that, Naples, Tampa and all that. Oh gosh, I was watching the coverage, it was really sad. But hopefully this chili recipe will help some families who are hungry and just want to get a quick recipe tonight for something to eat. Maybe they don't have an idea of what they might want to make. If they've made it to their safe evacuation destination, this is going to be a good meal to have. And yeah. So we're getting that beef nice and cooked up here. And turn on a little bit more lighting here. I was trying to do a bit of soft lighting, but I do need to look at this meat. Yeah, let's get nice and brown. See, you know, and the seasoning's getting in there. That copper pan worked a lot quicker than 20 minutes. It only took about 10 or 15 for it to really get started. But just to make sure that the meat is cooked through, I'm just gonna give it an extra couple of minutes before I stir it up real good, you know, make sure the seasonings get all over it, all over all the onions. Yeah, the onions are the indicator for when your chili is done. So now you can go ahead and start stirring in your tomato sauce. Excuse me. And then, got a little choked up there, a little parched. I didn't drink enough water before I started, but that's okay. I'll drink some in a bit here. Okay, so I'm gonna mix that tomato sauce up nice in there. Turn that heat down. You want to turn it down to a simmer. Obviously, once you turn the tomato sauce in there, you do not want it on high. You will burn that stuff real quick. You want to drain your kidney beans out. You know, just pour this stuff out. You don't have to rinse them, but you want to drain that juice out of there before you pour it in. And then the Bush's beans, some people just throw them right in. I don't know. I think it's too much juice. So I get a little bit of it and then put the rest in. It's not like my hearty, thick chili. I don't like it to be too soupy. Okay, so yeah, let me dispose of these. And you can do your chili with rice, crackers. Some people do it with a baked potato. You can do it with just about anything. Garlic bread goes well with chili. I did a white bean chili that I learned from At Home with Giada from the Today Show. She's lovely. And that woman can cook. And her recipes are awesome. And it was a hearty white bean chili that she made, and she put Swiss chard in it. And then made white cheddar garlic bread too. She was just unbelievable with her creative spins on timeless classics of the American kitchen. And who doesn't love some good chili? I mean, anyone loves chili wherever you are. So, yeah. And you're going to want a nice consistency. Always have at least 2 cans of beans at minimum. If you're making a batch for, say, maybe 10 or more, you might want to have 4 cans of beans and then add another extra pound of beef for your browning in a larger pot that's tall, you know. And maybe another onion or another half onion or whatever. So, yeah, okay. Well, that's basically it. So, yeah, you just let that cook for about 30 or 45 minutes. Let the spices get in there real nice. And yeah, looks delicious. I can't wait to try it.